Rivian's electric truck, the R1T, has been blowing people's minds since it hit the market last year, and now it's time to finally see if its SUV sibling, the R1S, can live up to that hype. On the surface, it sure looks like there's not much between the new R1S SUV and the R1T pick-em-up truck. And if you look at the numbers, well, things look pretty close there too. Both tip the scales at around 7,000 pounds and rely on 835 horsepower and 908 pound-feet of torque to move around, resulting in a 3-second 0 to 60 mile-an-hour sprint. Power comes from 4 electric motors, 1 per corner, though a less powerful and $6,000 cheaper dual-motor flavor is coming. From the driver's seat, you really wouldn't notice that this is the R1S SUV and not the R1T, at least not until you look in the rearview mirror and see an extra set of headrests sitting back there behind you. This interior is more or less identical to the R1T, which is a very good thing. This is a really nice quality interior with open pore wood here, nice big touchscreen, big beautiful gauge cluster here as well, and reasonably comfortable seats. Yes, I am seated up high, much like I would be in a truck, but given this is a truck platform, that's totally fine. Off-road, this car is remarkably impressive. Actually, this is better off-road than the R1T, believe it or not, because it's a little bit shorter, you get better approach and breakover angles. And we put this through the mud, through the rocks, and it didn't skip a beat. You've got a variety of different drive modes to go through here, and you can configure this whether you're plowing through the fesh sand or going through mud and rocks. You've got a mode for just about everything that you'd ever want, and it didn't disappoint. On the road, you've also got a selection of modes to go through here too. Whether you want maximum suspension travel for a big bumpy road, or even if you want maximum aerodynamics, there's a mode here called Conserve, which drops the SUV down low to the ground and disables the rear motors to give you the maximum aerodynamics and the maximum performance out of your battery pack to go as far as you possibly can. Although we did find that comes at a slight penalty to ride quality because the SUV being so low made it a little bit jittery over the bumps. But beyond that, if you're running in a normal suspension mode with the suspension on soft, this is a very comfortable, compliant SUV to be in, and really the kind of thing that you could do big miles in. And you can do big miles in, at least if you spec a big battery pack. Both the R1T and R1S will go over 300 miles on a charge with the larger battery pack, with the SUV having a couple mile advantage, presumably thanks to aerodynamics. The smaller pack drops the range to around 260 miles, and again saves you about $6,000. With 3 rows of seating, there's room for 8 if you really want to push it, though I'd say 6 adults is the practical limit. That third row actually has decent headroom and tolerable legroom, but I surely wouldn't want to spend 300 odd miles back there. How much are you paying for that third row over the 2-row R1T? The R1S comes out at $5,000 higher than a comparably equipped truck, with a starting price of $73,575, including a $1,075 destination. But you can bring that figure up to about $100K with the bigger battery pack, quad motor setup, and some other options. So it is not a cheap ride, but it is an impressive one, and one that feels every bit the premium SUV that it is. It's also yet another sign that EVs can be game changers, even if you prioritize power and performance over those pesky environmental concerns.